Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Nothing like starting a Monday morning with a jam. That's my jam. Look, y'all, I'm so excited. Happy Monday, happy Monday. I saw you bopping back there, Wally Green. I saw you getting your groove on. Listen, y'all. Hey, welcome back. How was your weekend? I had a great one. I'm just going to keep it. You know, it's snowing here in Chicagoland. We got 4 inches night before last. So it shoveled yesterday morning. That was fun. And it was that light, fluffy air snow, the kind that's fun to shovel. Not like that wet, heavy slush that you be like, I'm moving. I swear to Jesus, I ain't going to be here next year when the snow falls. Right? So I was out there having a good time, but my OCD, when the snow shoveling is easy, my OCD kicks in. So I manicure. I mean, I can't have no snow over, it's got to be bordered. Everything has to be look like right. So it took me like 4 hours yesterday because I just kept, is that some extra snow over there? So anyway, it was a great week. Oh, Friday night. Because, coming up, y'all, I don't know if I want to show the picture yet, if I want to hear. Coming up, April 28th, tickets moved over the weekend. Jamie Lane, if you're on here, I saw you bought a ticket the other day. I think it was Saturday. So, yeah, there it is. April 28th, y'all. It's going down in Chicago at this beautiful Stan Mansion down in Logan Square. Now, speaking of the beautiful Stan Mansion, now, every event I've ever had except for a couple. I mean, my big events always here in Chicago are at the Stan Mansion. Love the family, Chera, Stan, and her wonderful kids. Her son was on the show a couple weeks ago, the artist, remember? Alexander, that last name, Seznoff. There it is. So listen, look at this. The chefs knocked it out of the park. So we get there, and I didn't eat. You know how it is. when you know you go into somebody's house that's got, like, they got chefs. So I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't have no lunch. I didn't eat any snacks. I just drank water because I wanted to be full. And you know why? Because of this. Look at that. That was a brisket their chefs made. Everything was just, but I told this tray up. I think there's maybe one olive left by the time I mowed through that sucker. Oh, I left that orange too. You know, I left that orange because I was too lazy to peel it. But all those crackers and carbs back show did, ate every one of them. And look, here we were. Oh, so much fun. Look at that table, right? We had a great time. Thank you to all of the people that make up the wonderful team over at the Stan Mansion. We are so excited, you guys. April 28th, 250 of Chicago's greatest kids. I'm not kidding you. If I could fit more in that joint, there'd be more there. This is our third one. We were in Atlanta right before COVID. We were scheduled last year to head off to Australia. Everything was in place, but COVID said, y'all ain't going nowhere, right? So we set it down for a year, but we're back. We're back. We'll be there April 28th. You remember now, maybe you don't, but when we left Atlanta at the Biltmore Ballroom, about 7 weeks later, we were summoned to New York City, where we went and received the Global Empowerment Movement Award, GEM, handed to us by the United Nations for our work with the Power of We Symposium. So I'm very humbled, and just so, God is good, right? Yeah, you got it all the time and all the time. Amen. Hallelujah. Listen, another thing I want to tell you guys is if you get your tickets, we're looking for sponsors. There's vendor booths in the lower ballroom, a room for 40 tables down there, and we usually sell it out. This will be no exception this year. Come and be a part of history again. And we're trying to get Wally there. I think he's coming. I want him to. I want a ping pong table and everything in there for a live demonstration. Right? See how I put him on the spot? That's what you do. Y'all get a TV show and make people commit to stuff on the air. Just saying. That's the bell of purpose. When you hear it, I didn't do it on accident. My hand didn't slip over there and hit that. I hit that bell on purpose. Why? Because it is a reminder. It is. It's an opportunity. Because just like that bell has a ring to it, so does the truth. And when there's some truth going on, I don't want you to miss it. Back that thing up, that car, and put this in the trunk, that truth, and take it with you. Can I get an amen? So that's what the bell is. And also, another steadfast. It's a steady Eddie right here. This is my girl, my ride or die. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo, been here every day for 7 years. And we're drinking on some, still drinking up those holiday coffees. I forgot what it's called. It's coffee. So anyway, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this. I'm gonna just show this. Watch this, y'all. Here, watch this. I'll show you. Wally, he's been here before, but you might not have been. So I want you to see this is when Wally was on Steve Harvey here in Chicago. You know, you sure be doing a lot here in Chicago, Wally. And you know, don't be creeping in and out without coming over here to our house, right? You guys take a look at this.
Hey, welcome back, folks. I've got time for just one more thing. With me is the International Ambassador of Ping Pong, Wally Green. I know, faked you too, didn't I? The whole audience went. So, Wally, welcome to the show.
How you doing?
How'd you get into ping pong?
It started, I was in a lot of trouble, and a guy actually saw I was in trouble. You know, I was either going to be in jail or just terrible life. And this guy just said, listen, I'm going to help you learn ping pong. So he paid for me to go to Germany for 4 months to learn ping pong. So.
Okay, now you became the ambassador of ping pong. What do you do as the ambassador?
Well, I first of all, I represent the USA in Pro Tour International competition. And then also I do a lot of just celebrity events, charities. Like I did one last week for Ping Pong for Poverty. Yeah, so I do a lot of stuff like that.
All right, Wally, what are you showing us today?
I'm going to show you some basic strokes, forehand and backhand, but I won't use a racket today. I'm going to use a BlackBerry.
So that's his specialty.
Huh?
He's very good with this stuff. I mean, he could literally beat anyone here with this cell phone.
All right, let's go. Let's see what you do. Show us, give us a demonstration here.
All right, let's go. Ready, let's go. All right.
I couldn't even hit the ball.
Y'all get the idea, right? Okay, well, come on out there, international ambassador of ping pong. Come on out. Shoot, here come y'all, Wally Green. Even that countdown clock is a jam. Hey, Wally, welcome back. How are you, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. You don't look like you aged a day since you was on Steve Harvey. I can't stand you. Look at you.
It wasn't that long ago.
Look, when I'll be 60 this year, that much time I met right. What year was that, by the way?
Say it again.
What year was that you were on Steve Harvey?
I'm thinking that had to be about maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay. So how old are you today? You still look like a kid, but you got a kid.
Yeah. Yep, I do.
How old are you today, Wally?
It's a secret.
Is the secret for real?
Yeah.
Facebook gonna tell us on your birthday, you know it. You know they're gonna tell us, right? Well, but let me ask you something. So answer this one. How many years since you first picked up a ping pong paddle?
Oh man. It's been, I think, 15 or 16 years.
15 or 16 years.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, well, say hello to everybody. Tell them where you're at in the world, and I'll give you a second. Then we're going to go back and we're going to talk about the Wally Green of 16 years ago as opposed to the man before us today. Go ahead. Say hello.
Hey, everyone. How you doing? It's great to be back on this show. I love this show. It's so much fun. My name is Wally Green, as you guys already know. Grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Now I live in the city, and it's great to be here.
Well, we're happy you're here. And so just go back. We saw in the clip you said back when you were on the Steve Harvey show that you were in a lot of trouble. And then this gentleman saw you and sponsored you to go to Germany to learn how to play. So when you say trouble, that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. So give an idea of what you were actually dealing with back then.
Yeah. So I grew up in a household of very severe domestic violence. My mom and my dad divorced probably when I was 1, because I don't have any memory of my dad and mom together. And my mom remarried an abuser. And so
another one?
Well, my dad wasn't the abuser. It was the guy that she remarried.
Oh, his replacement.
Yeah, his replacement was an abuser.
Okay.
And like a narcissistic abuser. And
now, sorry, but was he abusing just your mom or all y'all?
Well, all of us. Well, my mom and me. But mine wasn't really a physical abuse. Unless I did something, then it was too much. But mine was a mental abuse. Like I had severe, like I was told every day growing up that the only place I was going was dead or in jail. So this is what I was told every single day.
As so many of us are of color. Yep.
Yeah. And like I said, my mom used to get beat up a lot. And because I couldn't really do nothing about it because I was very young, I had to take it out on other people. And that's how I started to join a gang at 13 years old. I was already in a gang. I was already doing really bad stuff and blaming everyone else for what was going on in my house.
Like what?
Able to do it.
Okay, because bad stuff to little for instance, my husband Brian's bad stuff to him was taking the banana out of his lunch and throwing it in the trash can. He'd sleep for nights. To him that was bad stuff. Now for me it was a little bit harsher. But when you say that, because we're trying to give people a little reference point as far as what it's like to grow up in the neighborhood and the environment. So what to you does bad stuff mean?
I already by 13 years old, I already had guns in my possession at 13.
Real
So,
guns with real bullets.
yes.
And what did you
All at 13.
wait? Did you leave? Okay, I just want to know. Then I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah.
Did you leave the gun hidden outside somewhere? Were you
No.
bold enough to bring it in and out of the
No.
house?
No. So I never kept it in my house.
Okay.
But my friend's house was like maybe 4 or 5 houses from me. We kept all the guns at his house. So we needed
All the guns.
Yeah. So if we needed it, we would go get it from his house. Because his parents, he was older, and his parents really didn't care about it at all. So, you know, he got away with everything. So we left, everything was kept at his house.
Okay, so take us to a typical day when you had to go get them. Come on, man.
So-
Let's get the spot. I need I need one of my pieces. You're 13.
Yeah. I could tell you one in particular, which is pretty crazy, and it has to do with my mom and my stepfather. So I got sent away for 2 years to boarding school because I got caught with a possession. I got charged with possession of a legal weapon in school at 14. So I got in a lot of trouble at 14, and they said
Juvie?
that.
Did you go to juvie?
Well, here's the thing. They said they were gonna put me 10. They were gonna give me 10 years. So yeah. I was gonna the charge was gonna get 10 years, and it was gonna be from juvie into adult jail. But as I mentioned before, you know, when I was a kid, even though I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff, I always played sports, and because I always played sports kept me out of the house more. And because sports kept me out of the house more, my grades were good. Because you can only be on a team if your grades are good. If your grades are bad, then you can't be on a team. Then I would be in the house.
Right.
So I had good grades. I was a good student, right? I was a bad kid, but I was a good student. And my mom used that as leverage to send me to boarding school. So I went to boarding school in Africa, by the way.
Africa?
Yeah.
So she wasn't playing.
Yeah, that's why the judge agreed to it. So I went to boarding school in Africa for 2 years, and I spent 2 years fighting the Africans, right? Because the Africans kept telling me that I eat butter. So yeah, so when they say the term that you eat butter was because, you know, I'm American black guy, and they're African, so they figured that they were the real black, and I was the one that eats butter.
You got cut on you.
Yeah,
Right.
so I spent, you know, 2 years fighting, like just fighting everyone. And
I know you didn't outrun them.
No, definitely not.
You can't outrun. Win all the stuff at the Olympics.
Yeah,
you can't outrun them.
Yeah, and then I also joined like this thing called Man of War, which is like is the closest thing to being in an elite army for kids. It's crazy. So when I came back at 16, and I was already, you know, I was pretty strong at 16, and I was sitting at home, and my stepfather definitely wasn't happy to have me back, right? So him and my mom started getting a little loud, and he turns around to grab my mom by the throat. So he went to grab her, and then I turned around and I look, right? And I just looked. I didn't say anything. I just looked. And the first thing he said to me, if you look over here one more time, you're going to get the same thing.
Oh.
And then, you know, as a kid, when you grow up with this craziness, there's going to be a time you're going to explode. Like you're a ticking time bomb, right? And that's what happened. I just exploded. I ran out the house. I don't even remember actually going out of the house. I ran out the house, ran across the street to where we kept our guns, went to my friend's house and said, "Hey, I need the gun right now." He's like, "What? What's up?" I said, "Just give me."
Don't ask no questions.
So I was flipping out. I was going. He's like, "Okay." And I came back with a 22 caliber, and came back, ran in the house. My stepfather was like near the kitchen, and came by and pointed at him and was going to shoot him. And I said, I'm going to kill you today. And I was crying, I was shaking. And my mom started like screaming and yelling. And then my mom says, stop. And I was like, no, he's been hitting on you for years and I'm going to end him today. And my mom called the police. And my mom said, you guys need to hurry up. My son's trying to kill my husband. And then pointed at my mom as well.
Oh, now you don't cross the line. Now you don't cross the line.
Yeah. So I felt like super betrayed, like the feeling of hurt from that was like it was the most intense feeling of anything ever, because all your life as a kid you want to protect your mom. That's what you want to do, and you can't do it, so you turn to other things. But now you have the means to do it and you want to do it, and then your mom turns against you. So it came really close. But like I said, I was always a smart kid. Sometimes it took me a little longer to realize what I was doing, and I did.
That day?
Huh?
You went to jail that day?
No. What happened was everybody was yelling and screaming, and something just came to me and said, hey, if you do this, everything that your stepfather said about you will happen today. And I figured it out, and I left and never went back. And I spent a year living in the streets. But yeah, I left. And
you left the house that day, Wally, and never went back?
I left and never went back.
Did you know that when you left?
Say it again?
Did you take all your stuff with you, or did you?
No, I just left. I left and never went back.
Little baby. I hear it. Hi, little man. So, you trying to say good morning to you.
Yeah.
So, Wally,
yeah.
What do you think, even today, when you think back and you come, so we have a thing in our Power of We sponsorship video that says, a line that says, a lot of people don't understand that a life can be changed by one wrong decision. And so, you know what I mean? Do you ever think back on how close it came being a totally different life for you?
For 100%.
About that.
Because I mean, if I don't even know about thinking, because I really wasn't thinking at all. But I mean, if I would have did that, I definitely wouldn't be here now, for sure.
No.
I mean, it was very close. Like it was like, I had it pointed at them both. Like, I mean, I was just, and in this state of mind, there's no feeling. There's only feeling of hurt, and the feeling it's so strong.
Yeah.
At this point, the only thing you're thinking is that you just want to end it all, and that's where I was. And so I'm so happy that the angel showed up on my shoulder.
Yes.
If you do this, whatever you're and here's the thing. I never wanted ever in my life to be anything like my stepfather. I hated this person so much, and just the fact of hearing something saying, if you do this, everything he said will come true. That's how much I hated this person, that I don't want anything to be like him, or even in the smallest thing. So when I heard, when I felt that, I was like, you know what? I told him, I said, you guys deserve each other. I'm out. And I had to get out quick before the police came.
Yeah.
That'd be a whole nother different thing. Yeah. And so I left. I never went back. And yeah.
So what about your relationship with your mom, if we can ask? How long did it take before you two came back together?
So I didn't talk to my mom for years, for obvious reasons.
Plural.
Yeah. But for many, 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 many years, like I didn't talk. I just disappeared. I just did not. I lived in the streets, bouncing from house to house, friends' house to house. Hanging out till morning hours every day. and yeah, I didn't contact, and then a few years ago I tried to contact her and spoke, but I feel that sometimes these situations, when they have passed so long, certain people try to try to act like it didn't
It wasn't.
it
You
wasn't that bad, or it didn't happen, or something like that.
blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah, and I couldn't deal with that. So I
Still
felt,
in denial.
yeah, I felt it was better for my personal mental health to just stay away. And
Now,
yeah,
when you reached back out, Wally, were you the Wally Green table tennis
yeah,
champion?
yeah,
You already were. So did you think, because I know I did, when I was going back with my family trying to, I'd say, well, now I've done all these things. Now I bet things are going to be different. And they weren't.
nope.
They weren't. Didn't make no difference whatsoever. When you wasn't doing shit, they talk shit. While you
Yeah.
was getting it together, they still talk shit. Even when
Yep.
you got it together, they still, okay?
Yeah.
So y'all just already know, right? So Wally, take us to that day with this gentleman from Germany. You woke up that morning. See, I love these days when I tell people, go back to that moment where you woke up that morning, a particular morning, and you had no idea that particular version of yourself would never wake up again because something happened in that day that changed everything, right? So go back to what were your dreams in your mind that morning that you woke up not knowing you were going to run into this German guy or this guy that took you to Germany? What were
Wow.
your dreams at that point? Did you have any?
Dreams I could make sure I get some money to eat, because
day.
During this time I really didn't have any money. I was still on my own. Yeah, I mean the kinds
Homeless?
of dreams.
Homeless?
No, I wasn't homeless at this time. When I met the guy, I had a place to live.
Okay.
Actually, my father's friends had a house that had a room, kind of like an attic apartment, and I stayed there. But I didn't have money really. I didn't really have anything, and I did a lot of stealing from the grocery store, from the supermarket. Yeah, I was in this, and it was funny because I remember when I used to go to the supermarket. They're like, "Hey, Wally, how are you?" Because I would buy stuff, but that would take a lot more than I bought.
Taking more, a lot more. Look, I could beat that.
Yeah,
I was the same way. I knew everybody there, but I'd make a barricade inside the cart. I wouldn't buy none of that shit I had, but I had an entire wall, a fortress. I'd make sandwiches down there. Go get. I make a whole sandwich. Open up some pickles. Break off some lettuce. Everything. Right. So, because when you're hungry.
Yeah.
Anybody out there ever been hungry? If you've been hungry, say, I've been hungry. Put it inside the chat. It's real talk. So, Wally, tell us about that day. How'd it happen? How'd it go down? You were minding
so I had gotten interested in ping pong, and it was a sport that I actually hated to begin with. But I got interested in it because of a pool hall incident. And they told me about this ping pong club, and I couldn't believe that there was a place where people like gathered and played ping pong. I was like, what? This can't be real. And I went there and I saw people playing, like, standing from the table, making noise, and it looks athletic. And one thing which I do remember now, which I've never mentioned anywhere else, actually, it just came to me right now, is that I think one of the things that made me interested in it was because I saw other Black people playing.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, all the people that were there were Black except for one Chinese dude. And I was like,
what the hell?
What?
Right.
Yeah. So I got interested in it, but then nobody would play with me. Right. So because nobody knew me, and they wouldn't give me a chance to hit. And everybody was like, oh, I'm tired. I got to go pick up my grandmother, blah, blah, and then still play. So, yeah. So I
lie to your face.
Yeah. It made me really upset. And I was like, at that time I was the kind of kid that, I would go where I wasn't wanted, just to cause trouble. And anyway, this guy comes to me and he goes, "Hey, do you have a partner?" And I said, "No, I don't have a partner. I'm just waiting to hit with someone." The guy says, "Oh, I'll hit with you. And if you could hit with me like maybe twice a week, I'll give you $20 every time we hit." I was like, "What? $20? Whoa, wait, whoa. What?"
Right.
And I couldn't play, but I could hit. Like I was an athlete. And even till today, any sport I pick up, I can do it. I even if I've never played it, take me a few minutes, an hour, and I can get it. So I could hit the ball back and forth. And so I would hit with this guy and he would pay me $20. Right. And I was like, this is really cool. And then we would talk and at the time I was still in the gang and I would talk about, my life and the things that I went through. I was always open with my life. And but for him, it was like TV, right? Because if you never met anyone who's lived that life or been in that kind of life, there's no way you can understand it. You can't understand how a kid has guns at an early age if you've never experienced anyone who's lived that life or experienced it yourself. And so one day I went to the club and a gun fell out of my bag and he saw it. And now it all became reality. And then the first thing I thought was like, damn, there goes my $20. My $20 hustle is gone. So then after that, I went home. I left quickly because I didn't want him to call police or whatever. And I didn't know what he was going to do. So I left. And he called me 2 days later and he says, "Hey, are we still going to play?" And I was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, okay. Because I was thinking about the $20. So then we meet again, and he says, "I really want to help you." He goes, "I want to invite you to my house." So he had a house 2 hours away from New York City, which was near Hunter Mountain. So I went to his house and meet his family, which was weird because I was wondering, why is he bringing me to meet his family?
Right.
So I go to meet his family, and I think he was trying to give me a sense of what real family was. Right. So I met his family. I played with them. And then after, he says, "I want to help you. I have a connection in Germany. I see you're interested in ping pong. And I want to pay for you to go to Germany and learn ping pong."
Wow. And were you like, okay, what's the catch?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, who wouldn't be automatically suspicious? Is this some kind of trafficking? They ain't never gonna see my ass again. What's really going on?
The only thing I knew about Germany then was Hitler. So I was like, why is this guy trying to send me to Germany?
They ain't got no black folks in there. Right. Okay. So how long from that moment until you actually stepped off a plane and looked and said, "I'm in Germany, y'all"?
Oh, that was actually pretty quick. I think that was within that same, maybe a few months, maybe 3 to 6 months later, because
you were already on your way.
I was already. He knew. He understood. It was like dropping that gun out of my bag was like a puzzle piece that everything came together, and then he knew exactly where I was headed, and
So that's how I see it happen. Tell me if I'm close. Everything's happening. All of a sudden, boom! The gun hits the floor. Everybody stops and looks at it, then looks at you, and that was that moment.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
When we return from this short, and I do mean less than a minute break, we're going to come back and we're going to talk about all the things that have happened. Well, not even all. There's so many, but quite a few of the highlights of what's happened since that fateful day when Wally Green, Thug, dropped a gun on the floor and replaced it with a ping pong paddle. We'll be back. Don't go away.
full-time income from YouTube without ever trying to grow your own channel?
That's a funny point. Actually.
Okay. Okay, that does not look easy at all. You see. So what was that thing about? You looked like you were turning away, and he's still. Tell everybody what that.
Oh, that was really funny, actually. So what happened is, so everyone's probably played ping pong at one time or another, and you know the object is for the ball to hit one side of the table and bounce on the other side of the table.
Right.
What most people don't know is that the net is part of the table. Well, the part of the net that's connected to the table equals the table. So a lot of people don't know that.
Oh, so if you hit that metal part,
that is the table. That is that first. It's considered the first bounce. It counts. So I never experienced that before, and I don't think the Korean team guy experienced that before either. We both, like, I didn't know what happened. So I hit the ball really hard, right? Instead of the ball hitting the table first, the ball hit the metal part of the net that's connected to the table and went straight up in the air. So that's why we both kind of like stood like, what? And then by the time he realized it, I hit this, it came down and he was too late. And then he wound up hitting the ball out.
So he was upset.
So that was a very funny point, actually.
So tell us about that trip. And you guys get ready for this. And this is a great time. Share out the broadcast if you haven't already. Wait till you hear this story. Now, you went to North Korea, the land for many people, the land of no return, where you may not come back. And you've already practiced this one when you walked out of that house that day and never came back. So here you are. You had to relinquish your ID and your cell phone, correct, at the border.
Yes. Oh no. So
yeah.
So going to North Korea, it's definitely it's not a fun journey. Like I hear a lot of people say, I want to visit North Korea. No, you don't. It's something that you have to mentally prepare for. When I went to North Korea, Westerners aren't allowed to have one cell phone service. You can have your cell phone.
Oh.
Right. So that's why I'm doing a documentary now, because I have a ton of footage. So you can have your cell phone, but the cell phone won't work.
Okay.
Right?
No calls. In or out.
Calls. And also no Wi-Fi. You're not allowed to have Wi-Fi. So if you can't call and you have no Wi-Fi, you're cut off from the rest of the world. And the third thing, which makes it definitely, in my opinion, the most dangerous place, is that when you check into the hotel, they take your passport. So you have no passport, you have no cell phone service, and you have no Wi-Fi. So anything happened, I mean,
you ain't got no ID.
Nothing. That's it.
There he is, him, the one with the yellow hair. He did. Wow. So
yeah.
So why risk so much?
I wanted to do something. I want to do something bigger than myself. Like we always hear about all these wars with these countries and all these just Americans are this, Koreans are this, and the world not getting along. And I really believe, I truly believe this, that one person can make a change. I really believe it takes one person to do it. One person. And I saw that there was a tournament in North Korea, and I was like, whoa, my God, North Korea, there's a tournament there. I was like, I gotta go there. And I knew why I wanted to go there. There's a a very big historical moment. In 1971, President Richard Nixon, America established relations with China is through ping pong. It's called the ping pong diplomacy. You can look it up, ping pong diplomacy, 1971. And that's how America established relations with China. China invited America over to play some friendly games of ping pong. And this was at a time where China was really communist, meaning that citizens were not even allowed to talk to Westerners, right? So I wanted to recreate, or should I say, create my own history by doing my very own ping pong diplomacy to North Korea. And I tried to get everyone in the world from the different countries in the world of people that I know to go with me, and not one person would go. Everyone said,
Fellow ping pong players.
yeah. Everyone said, no, you
crazy?
You
I ain't no
crazy.
way I'm going to North Korea.
That you're gonna die, you're not gonna come back, they're gonna kill you, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, okay, well, if no one wants to go, then I'll go by myself. So I went by myself with no teammates. Forget about no friends from around the world. I went with no teammates. So I went alone, and I went on this journey alone with no plan. I had no plan of how I was going to do this. I just knew I wanted to do it. But the first step is taking action. And the action is actually getting there, right? So yeah, that's how it started.
Wow. Oof. Okay. We are going to, I forgot I got to do one other thing. Take a look at this, just so you can give a little, you'll see why. And then we'll come right back. Okay, I'm gonna get Wally back in here, but my VA just texted me before. That's why I had to break away. I forgot to do this. I got in trouble last week for forgetting. Listen, you guys, V8, one of my sponsors. I love V8. One a day for me, 60 calories, 100% vegetable juice from concentrate. And guess what? 2 full vegetable servings in every can. Easy peasy to find. Head down the juice aisle at your local grocer. You'll find it. In my store, they're right next to the Kool-Aid boxes. Yay, V8, pop the top today. Okay, Wally, tell us about, we see all the great stuff you do there, like the life of a real professional athlete. You're in front of all those step and repeats. You do a lot of charity work, benefit work. You travel all over. Tell us about, first of all, when you said earlier at the top of the broadcast, when you heard there was a place where people congregate and play ping pong, you're like, what? And today, you are the owner of how many of these types of clubs? I know we have.
Yeah, so I'm co-founder of a company called Spin, and it's a place where people congregate and play ping pong and have good food, good drinks, events, and we have 2 locations in New York and another 6 across the country. And it's also co-founded by the legendary actress Susan Sarandon as well, and some more great, amazing people like Jonathan Bricklin, Frank Raharanosi. I mean, it's just a really great place. Wow, it looks beautiful on video as well.
Yes, I'm coming back in. So here's the Chicago one, and tell us what. Look at this, just gorgeous. And you have these. Tell us all the locations. Get ready, y'all.
Yeah, so there's Chicago, San Francisco, 2 in New York, Washington D.C., Philadelphia. We just opened up in Boston. We used to have Actually, we used to have more locations. We had one in Austin, Texas, which recently closed. We also had our our second one. Oh man, what state was that? Milwaukee. Our second one ever was in Milwaukee. I remember that. It was
Milwaukee,
really huge space in Milwaukee, but it was more of a franchise, and kind of it didn't work out with the franchise owners, so they wound up closing and opening it under a different a different name.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Look at that.
we're trying to take over the world. Try to
Wow.
have one in every state if possible, and then
Look
go
at-
international. I mean, we have one in Toronto, so I guess you can consider that international.
That's absolutely awesome. So, Wally, what is it about your life today that you talk about? Because you're a father now, right? Do you ever, when you're dealing with your child or you look at your child, do you ever see yourself back then and think about how much space and how much life there is and was in between where you were at point A and where you are today, everything that was beyond that place? What's it make you feel? How does it make you feel?
Wow. When I look at him, yeah, it's definitely me, because he's wild as hell. At 2 years old, he is wild. It's crazy, and that was me too. When I was, very small, I was definitely super wild, lots of energy. Just want to climb everything I could, and I guess that's where the athlete comes from. But when I see him, I really don't think about the things I went through, because he's never going to go through that. So
That's right. You broke the chain.
yeah, exactly. And so that's one thing, that's, people say you have to try to find, how do you say it, the silver lining in every negative thing that happens to you, or every bad thing that happens to you.
Yeah.
So if there was a silver lining of what happened, if there was a silver lining with all the bad things that happened to me, it would, I could thank my stepfather for being the way he was, which showed me what not to be, right? Because
Thank
I
you.
really not
That-
want to be like him.
You nailed it. You nailed it. I know y'all get sick of me saying this, but it's the truth. Inside my masterclass, you'll hear me say that you can never forget that, you'll find yourself from time to time in situations going on. What good could there be in this horrible situation with these horrible people? How can this ever produce anything positive? But sometimes we have to remember we're not there because we're bad people. We're there so we'll have an example of what never to become. And that's exactly what Wally Green just said. And I'm with you all the way. So, Wally, today, what about this? What about when COVID came? And you have a business that is contingent upon people being able to congregate. How scary? What did you do to pivot in order to hold on to what you have that's still here today, now that the world's opening back up a little bit?
I mean, it was difficult, because we had to the most difficult part was all the people that we had to let go of. I think that was the most difficult. And
The people that worked for you.
Yeah, that worked for us for a long time. So it was because our New York City location has been open for 13 years.
Wow.
This year is 13. So it was really difficult, because the people that we had to let go. I mean, it's sad, people still have bills to pay. Just because the pandemic came didn't mean that bills stopped, being, having to be paid. So that was the most sad part of the whole pandemic thing. So, but now things are better. We had a little scare where things were getting a little crazy for a short time, but it looks like things are better. People are back in. People are still cautious, which is good. But yeah, things are definitely better now.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about your humanitarian work, your philanthropic work. You're always throwing yourself into the mix. Whereas when people ask you to come in and speak to kids, it's all over your social media. And I love that. Matter of fact, we're trying to figure out some way to finagle you into coming to Chicago.
Yeah.
And
And actually, since we've spoken, I've been doing something else new. So not only talking to kids as well. So there's something that we forget. So a lot of times we base our talks about community, inspiration, motivation, and we always talk to the kids, which is great because the kids are our future.
Yes.
But we forget about something. We forget about the older people, right? We forget about those in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 80s, right?
our elders.
Yeah, our elders. Yeah, we forget about them. They have the means to actually make these changes. They have the means to actually change the community, right? The kids coming up, they are the future, but they don't have the means to do it. But the elders have the means to do it, and we forget about this. So recently, I've been part of a company called L3, along with this film festival company called Original Thinkers.
Okay.
They put together experiences for elderly, and a lot of these elderly are very, very wealthy, and so they go to places like Garden of the Gods in San Francisco, or Canyon Ranch, or all these very, very crazy expensive places, and I go there and I do talks there with them, and it's really interesting because you can't believe that someone who has reached the age of over 70 didn't understand or never experienced what it was like to not have, or what it's like growing up in the projects, or even ever heard of it,
Right.
So when I go and I do these talks and I talk to them, it's fascinating because they say, wow, you've definitely opened my mind. And if you could open someone's mind, to open a kid's mind is easy. It's easy, right? Because they want all this knowledge. People at age, they're already like, I know what I know. And to be able to open their mind and have them at that age willing to think a different way is unbelievable. So that's a new thing that I've been doing as well as talking.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to hook me up on that. I love that idea. Jamie Lane does too. She goes, yes. So what's out there? What's out on the assembly line, if you will, coming down the conveyor belt for Wally Green in this year of abundance, 2022? Anything we need to know about?
Yeah.
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I'm doing now. So 2022, I said I'm gonna finish my documentary, my North Korean ping pong diplomacy.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish my book, From the Pistol to the Paddle. So that I'm working on. Yep. So I'm gonna finish that. Also, there's one thing I can't really talk about so much, but it is a TV show that I will be on very soon. I'm not really allowed to talk about it yet. But yeah, so that's something else that's in the works. It's more of a game show with a very famous host, so I can say that much. But yeah, so that's something that's in the works. I've been going.
Price is Right.
No.
I just like.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really cool. Like I've been back and forth on numerous Zoom calls with producers and stuff like that. So
that sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: if you could leave our audience today with a little nugget, if you will, a little nugget about how it is that you stay It's coming. Y'all wait on it. How it is that you stay grounded in this life that once upon a time you could have never known was headed for you, and you were headed for it. Because there's a lot of people out there, at all ages, Wally, who I think a lot of us have lost the ability to artfully dream, to purposely dream. And so talk about that. I mean, you know what I mean? What is it you think people are missing today, that makes them just stay stuck and accept whatever it is that is not serving them?
Oh man, wow. I think it's a lot of it is motivation and inspiration. I think that people need to be inspired and motivated by people who are doing what they're doing or trying to do what they did or been in the same situation that they've been. I think that's really important. But yeah, it's mostly it's motivation and inspiration, and everyone is motivated and inspired in a different way, right? I'm pretty, even me, I need motivation and inspiration, and there are different ways that there are the different things that motivate and inspire me. And everyone needs to find what is it that motivates you, what is it that inspires you, or who is it?
Who is it? Yeah.
And for that case, seek it out and
Are,
make
are
it
you are
happen.
you still in touch with the gentleman that got this all started?
No, actually, when we made our film, when we made our film, uh, that was one of the things that we were trying to find. Like, we were trying to find this guy. We tried so hard. We found the school, we found the coach, but we could not find him.
Really?
Yeah, but so a spiritualist person told me maybe I should stop looking because it was probably an angels that was sent from God,
That
and
was, yeah.
the angel did his job, and
And then went on off to the
there
next
it
one.
is. Yeah.
I believe in that. I believe in that. Wow.
So that's what someone told me.
Wow. Wow. And it helps you really. I know in my world, those kinds of mindsets really help me to believe, well, you know what? That's enough. That's good enough. I don't need to see it from A to Z. I don't. I
Yeah.
just gotta know what I know, which is I'm here. And I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad whatever it was that tried from the beginning. You guys, I say all the time, those of us where it started when we were kids and we didn't think we had any choices, we see today that we did. And that I really believe personally that the earlier the trauma starts within our stories and within our journeys, well, you know what? The deeper the pain, the louder the voice. So open your mouth, open your heart, open your spirit, and speak your truths to the world. That's why you lived every single second. Wally Green, what a story. So of course, you know me. And there's Wally's TikTok and his Instagram scrolling along the bottom. I'm going to also post it back up as we get out of here. But I gotta, me. I'm going to put people on the spot if I can, because I really want you here at the Power of We in Chicago, April 28th. I really do. Will you try?
Yeah, for sure.
You promise, Wally? Because I've been talking to the team about that thing you said about the club.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah, we want to that's why I had you send me that stuff.
Yes.
We really want to see if we can, I think the kids and their families and just everybody, I just want them to know about you.
I actually, I'm very interested in doing that. I don't know if you saw my short documentary. Did you see it? I ever sent you the short documentary?
No.
I ever told you about the short documentary?
Nope.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I have a 45 award-winning short documentary that's on National Geographic.
You do?
Yeah, and well, we never. I usually just tell people things that I'm asked. So if I'm not asked, I don't bring it up. But yeah,
I get you.
But I have a 15-minute short. We almost got to the Oscars. It's won total of 45 awards for best short documentary, best original selection.
Wow.
It talks about two ping pong tables that I put in Bryant Park 13 years ago, and how these two tables formed a community of amazing people. I'm one of the main people in the documentary, along with a friend of mine who's homeless. And yeah, the documentary is super amazing. So I use this documentary for events like the one you're having.
Okay.
I think it would be really cool to have all these kids watch this because it's very powerful.
Okay.
Watch these 15
Did it bring you out?
and then come out, do a little talk and a Q&A.
And a
Kids love it. It's what I use a lot.
There it is. Y'all heard it. He's gonna try to get here, Wally.
Yes, yes.
You know I got your address, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just saying.
No, I'm
Wally,
definitely interested.
yes, we're gonna keep that dialogue open because everybody loved the idea. I love the idea, and I love the idea of you and what you're doing. I'm so proud of you, man. I really am. And you guys, right. So do yourselves a favor. Get in and follow Wally on Instagram or TikTok. And just pour in and be poured into. I want to thank you again, Wally, for coming and doing what you always do, and that's leaving a mark on us. That helps us to believe a little bit better than we did before we saw you today. And for all of you out there, we're just getting started. This is the first day of 5, God willing. And so I'm asking you, if you will, join me out front tomorrow morning on the front porch. I will have it all shoveled off for your entry. And tomorrow, our guest is Joy Willette. She was here a few years ago, and she threatened us and promised she'd let us know when she finished the book. And she's done that, and she's back to share it with us. So if you will, come on in tomorrow. We've got more illuminated conversations, and the promise is still real that wherever two of us comes together, something wonderful will happen. And I also promise to show you my soul if and when you show me yours, just like you did, Wally. Thank you so much. We'll see you April 28th in Chicago, right?
Yes.
All right. Yay. Y'all heard it right here. See you tomorrow. Get out and be the blessing, and be the blessing every moment you can. It's the best thing out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be well. Bye-bye all.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How explicit do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine.